Good evening, Nelson Edward Montz.
Spell your last name for me now.
Yes.
Can you read it?
Montz, and 517 East 6th Street, Moscow, 83843. I've learned some things tonight. And I was not as much listening to what you said, but how you said it. And I'm just a little farm boy, but how you said it, sir. The deal's done. That's the way it appears. You know, you painted a pretty picture. You tried to calm these citizens that are eating out here. You try to calm them. You know, you told us a nice story. Well, this is how we're going to go through Moscow. Well, I thought this thing was up for debate. I mean, you know, you try to just condition us to what just might be the inevitable. How you said, no good. Sometimes I wish I would cross the table with you and your lawyers. I'd feel a lot better if I was across the table. I'm sorry, Department of Transportation. I would like to deal with this guy. Listen, you're a nice guy. We love Imperial Oil and Exxon. But we don't love you enough that we won't censure you and try to keep you within certain parameters. This country means a lot to us. We really don't give a rip what you decided in your boardrooms of what our oil company wants to do or don't want to do. I'm just saying, I just wish I had the feeling that there was a decision going to be made and not just a decision of convenience. Because whether anyone likes it or not, we're the bosses. We're the bosses. We may think of Governor Otter as a boss, or this person is a boss. You're looking at your bosses out in the Department of Transportation. You may have been hired another way, but that's where it lies. I wouldn't be in your shoes for anything. Politics is generally done by compromise. As far as I'm concerned, this situation is non-negotiable. I just want to ask you before I leave one question, sir. Moscow, Lewiston, and that highway up there is Plan A. I'm going to ask you quickly, do you have Plan B?
Okay. Thank you for your solicit answer. And let me just say that's kind of a duplication of a comment that I was going to read next. And so let me just read this one before he responds. It says, it is tempting to say, just get it over and done with, but indeed there is no over and done with. This is like the camel getting its nose into the tent. We were warned about that centuries ago. So the question is whether this is the front runner of more to come, and what would be the limits of this proposal?
As I said at the start, we have been working with ITD on moving over legal loads through Idaho. There was never a guarantee, but the outline said if you can comply with our regulations and prove you can do it safely and minimize the impact to the public, we believe we can permit. There's a lot of conditions in that. But we believed at that time that we could meet all the requirements, and that's how we decided to go forward with our plan. There has been opposition to moving on US 12 in Idaho, Montana, and that has delayed the movement of our modules, as I said at the start. And it's forced us into this contingency plan of disassembling the modules and then trying to get it to an interstate system where the height is not an issue and there's ample places to clear following traffic. Our first thought with the ones in Lewiston, where to move them up 95, that seemed to us like if we couldn't move them on US 12, that was the quickest way we could get them to the interstate system. But also, I said before, US 12 is still our preferred route to get them over to Montana and to keep on moving them. Alternate plans. So earlier on in my charts, I used this chart, and when we're talking about in the Lewiston, we have these 33 modules here, and so we can't move US 12. You would take them down US 95 to I-84 and up that way, or you take them north. And our first thought was, let's see if we could move them on US 95, and that's when we started to talk to the transportation department about using that road to get our smaller modules up to interstate. We have also looked at alternate routes. We have moved some smaller loads up I-5 to I-90 and out that way, but those are smaller roads. And, you know, we're still looking at alternate routes. If we can't use US 12, if we can't use US 95, if ITD denies that, then we have to look at alternate routes. Yeah, we're looking at all options, but first our preferred route is US 12. Our second preferred route for the modules we have in Lewiston is US 95.